All right, so we pulled the head bolts out. We got the head off. There's this stud here and this stud here was already broken. That's why it had an exhaust leak. So you can see right here on the manifold, it had a major exhaust leak there from those bolts broken for who knows how long. But if you look in here, this cylinder wall, we'll move the piston up and down. All the cylinders look good. The head, I'll show you the valves, they all look good. Can you flip that head over so I can show them? And then over here, this is the number one, but look, it's broken. The other part of the lifter's inside of there, which we'll pull out next. We'll pull this retainer out, and we'll look in there. And then we've got to look at the cam as well. So if you look here, number one is this one. But you look, they're all no burnt valves. Obviously they're carboned up, but there's no burnt valves. So that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and pull that assembly out. So the head looks good. This rod here, where this wore really bad, a groove into this push rod. If you look right here, this hole's round. This one's got a wire spot. You can see it's oblong. That's just a guide there. Not a guide. It doesn't actually touch it, but just a through hole. Structurally, it's fine. So this head's good. We just got to clean it all up. Clean our push rods. Got a new push rod for this one. Clean our hydraulic lifters. Our arms there. Our rocker arms. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this apart because down in here, like I said, this thing is broken. If you can see in there, kind of hard, but that's supposed to be one piece. So go ahead and pull this apart and see what we need to do from there. And we'll inspect the cam as well. So we got that guide out there. You can see here, this thing's all... You'd think my buddy would help me hold some stuff, but he likes to watch a lot. There's the spring. You can see it's broken there. You look in that hole. So I'm going to pull that out next. So we got the other one out, the old one. It's in a few different pieces. Obviously it broke. It's not supposed to be like that. If you look, the one next to the exhaust cam, supposed to be one solid piece like this. We'll get a new one, but before we do get all the parts, we're going to go ahead and inspect the cam lobe. All right, so we turned the crank. We inspected the cylinders. They're all good. You can actually still see cross hatches. Trying to get the light in here to see, but hang on. Go like that. That cam is good. No issues with it. The lobe's still there. Or no, it's not worn down or nothing. So what we need to do now is go ahead and clean this block up. Clean all that up. Clean the head up. Get those two stuck bolts, studs out, which is going to be a pain in the ass, but we'll have to easy out them. And then get all new parts, put the lifter in, and might as well check the other lifter since we're in there. Because cylinder 1 here has the other DOD lifter, hydraulic lifter, and cylinder 7 in the back has it as well. So we'll check them out, but it needs this one here because obviously it came apart and that's what collapsed the push rod. But it's all salvageable. Nothing got damaged. So besides the lifter and the push rod, but now we just got to clean it up, go get all the parts and put it all back together, and then continue to move on from there. So we got most of it cleaned up. Had to get another gas scraper, clean this up a little bit more. I'm going to remove these stuck studs. Cleaned up under here. We do got a little more cleaning to do under here, but for the most part we got it. And then we picked up our parts. So got a new head gasket, new exhaust gasket, a new intake gasket, new DOD lifter, new exhaust donut, studs for the head, bolts because we broke a bolt for the collector where the manifold goes down. Well, the manifold's under there. New head bolts New valve cover bolt or gaskets with the grommets. We're only waiting on one thing. We have another gasket set ordered to be in tomorrow. Time this video is posted, it'll already be in, obviously, but that gasket set includes all these gaskets in here. And then we just got to get some Dexco antifreeze and some oil and a filter, so we can go ahead and put it all back together, run it, change the oil, drop it, and we'll go from there. So next part of the video, we'll assemble it, put it all together, put assembly lube in it, and then run it, check for misfires and all that data. So here's the new lifter. It's all one piece, not like the other one that's broken. I remember showing you that there. It's all broken. This is the new one. So put that in and get this thing good to go. So that be it for this part of the video, and then we'll start part 3 next with the installation and running it and doing all the scan tool data. I did want to add one more thing before we go on to the other part, installation of all this. So this is what they call the VLOM, that assembly there. So basically what it is, it's the valve lifter oil manifold assembly, which is active fuel management, AFM, for cylinders 1, 7, 4, and 6. Power comes in, 12 volts, computer grounds it, lets oil go through. This is your 4 solenoids, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip it over. You got your connector for them, your oil pressure sensor. And then you got ports, you know, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust. And how that works is, if you look up here, there's a port there. You know the light. Cylinder 1, 7, 4, 6. Intake, exhaust, so forth, right? So the solenoid opens on this guy. The computer opens it, lets oil pressure go in, and it actuates or deactuates this valve here, so it will not use that cylinder, open the intake and exhaust valve. So then it shuts all 4 down and goes to V4 mode. So that's what that assembly is there. Just wanted to add that before we start assembling this engine back together.